Hi everyone, welcome to my channel SatyamShakti Astro and more. And we had just recently posted one tweet on Rahu, for which I did get a lot of appreciation, and a lot of people were able to associate with Rahu being a very transforming energy, or transforming rather shadow planet, okay, which introduces you to a lot of people from your past birth. It introduces you to toxic people. It engages your mind with toxicity, because Rahu is considered to be an illusion. It is Maya, right? And but if you are aware that it is Maya, if you're aware that it's an illusion, you also try to imbibe wisdom and intelligence. So Rahu is also a planet of intelligence. It is a planet which makes you understand psychology of other humans, of the fellow people. It makes you learn lessons from your mistakes. It creates obsession, it creates toxicity in your life, but at the same time it also teaches you to cut the cords with these toxic emotions. It lets you fall in love with yourself. It helps you in growing your personification. It creates a new door for you to learn things practically. It allows you to do sadhana. It allows you to do atma manthan, which is called a samudra manthan, right? So leads you towards the path of self-realization. And though for some people Rahu can be really malefic, it can lead to addiction. It can lead to multiple partners, or it might create obsession. um, uh, but ultimately Rahu also teaches you lessons so hard that you let go of that Maya. So if you have that wisdom to understand that what you're suffering in this particular Rahu phase is all an illusion, and it is just to teach you a lesson, probably from your previous birth, um, you will be able to handle Rahu gracefully. Okay, so we are running a series on 10 Mahavidyas, and out of which I'm going to cover today about Chinnamasta, which is also the Devi of Rahu. She is considered to be as also Varahi, and she's also considered to be uh, she's considered to be a Devi who um, annihilates again illusion and brings about the right wisdom for you to identify uh, what you're suffering and how you're suffering. And she helps you in breaking these patterns that probably you've been following from a very, very long time. Um so Chinnamasta is basically, it is recounted in the Pranatoshini Tantra. And once the progress of the day, or the process of the world, okay, has reached a state of stability, it continues to exist. It depends on the substantiance, or on the destruction part, or on the burning and consuming, the cosmic sacrifice, or the yagna, that expresses this process of universal metabolism. Okay, and the ritual sacrifices, or the yajna, are performed with an intention of bringing in the harmony, and cooperating with the cosmic process of maintenance. Okay, so where Kali, she determines the time. Okay, uh, Ma Chinnamasta, she brings in sacrifice. Okay, she brings in the attitude of, uh, you know, that intention in the mindset. Basically, it brings in the right intention towards the spiritual goal. Okay, that's the job of Ma Chinnamasta. Okay, so the aspect, again, we come back to Shiva here. So the aspect of Shiva which presides over the cosmic sacrifice is the headless, which is the Kalabandha. So Kabandha. So he is also the consort of Chinnamasta, right? And the Vedic rituals of the sacrifice, which involves the beheading of the victim, the sacrifice, which is indeed beheaded, like the Satapatha Brahmana, or the Shakti, the dynamic energy, of the sacrifice that is happening is depicted as the beheaded one, the Chinnamasta. Okay, so in all our rituals, in all our Hindu rituals, what I mean by sacrifice is not always the animal sacrifice, but also this. It can be in the form of anything. It can be in the form of your own greed, sacrificing your own needs, sacrificing your own desires. That is also sacrificing. So you are actually removing some part of you, right? You're beheading that part, which you've probably desired of, like, and why are you doing this? You're doing this because you want harmony in your life. You want to get rid of that, that stuck feeling that you have in yourself, right? So and what you're doing it, like, you're burning it off, you're burning the desire off from your life, so that you can lead a harmonious life. And so this is what Chinnamasta represent. It's like the beheading of, or sacrifice, basically, and burning that particular goal or desire, or like something which is holding you back from your spiritual awakening, into that yagna, that fire. Okay, so the aspect of, again, like, let me put it this way. So the aspect of Shiva, which is Kabinda, or the consort of Shiva, consort of Chinnamasta. So the Shakti here, of the sacrifice, okay, the sacrifice that you're doing by getting rid of this desire, okay, is depicted as the beheaded one, like I've just now explained, or the Chinnamasta. So, and at the end of the ritual of the sacrifice, there's a ceremony. Okay, after every sacrifice ritual that used to happen, okay, there's a sub ceremony which is called as the journey of the head. Okay, or the Siro Sadhana, which is called a Siro Sadhana, in which the head is symbolically reattached to the body of the victim, just like Ganesha. All right, so this new body, or this new self that is formed, is more wiser, because you've just now removed and sacrificed all the negatives from your body, right? And this symbolically represents the it represents the consumption, or of the cycle of time, right? Why? Because birth, death, and rebirth, or reincarnation, okay, which is happening to you, without which the meaning of the sacrifice is basically just a process of transformation, and it is just a cycle of progress which could remain incomplete, right? So when there is a destruction, there has to be a transformation and a incarnation, right? So this is what is Chinnamasta. So that energy which is getting beheaded, which is beheading, okay, is Chinnamasta. So the beginning of life, okay, very beginning of the life, is the sex act, right? In which offering of semen is made into the uterus, and this is the yagna, or this is considered the yagna, or the coitus. Okay, the womb is basically the symbol of the fire pit, or the homa kunda. Okay, and the offering of ghee is the semen made with the ladle, or the surva, which represents the penis. And in the animal sacrifice, okay, the full offering is the blood, and the animal is afterwards consumed, right? It is consumed when seen in participation in a perpetual cosmic process of sacrifice. The deep contemplation upon life, feeding upon life, can become a mean of, like, great spiritual height, insight, instead of being merely an unconscious and automatic act of self-nourishment. Okay, this is the Tantras, especially the Tantras. They warn that the sadhika should only partake of meat, okay, from animals that have been duly consecrated and sacrificed, and the first fruits of all produced should be offered to the deity. Okay, if I have to get into the details of this again becomes a very deep science, because here we don't mean literal meaning of animal sacrifice, doesn't mean real animal sacrifice. Here you're sacrificing the animal, the demon inside you, okay? And the understanding of this is very simple. When you are sacrificing something within yourself, you will get depleted, you will feel depressed, you will feel sad, okay? But you have to behead it. Why do you have to behead it? Because that's the ultimate. You are putting, because you are probably in that yagna right now, you're burning right now from inside, right? uh, you've been also born out of that homakunda, that is somebody's, your mother's, of course, womb, right? That is your homakunda, because from there you've been given all sorts of energies, all sorts of power, and you've been able to attain a lot of things from your past lives, and that's how you have taken birth, right? So Chinnamasta, basically, she rules over these the 5 great sacrifices, which is called as Pancha Mahayagnas. I'm sure the Vedic scholars will know about this. So Pancha Mahayagnas, and every human born is born with 5 depths. Let me tell you this, every human is born with 5 depths. What are these? These are our duties, okay? As mindful and authentic humans, okay? They are our and what is our duty as humans is to discharge these 5 depths at every occasion for the eternity of our lives on the planet, okay? Is to do our duties, right? The 5 great sacrifices are nothing but the continual expression of gratitude to all those beings who has facilitated and supported our existence, okay? And what are they? First is, let me try to explain you as simple as I can. First is Pitra Yagna, of course, the sacrifice to the ancestors, the paternal responsibilities, okay? The Deva Yagna, which is a sacrifice to the god, okay, the cosmic forces which maintains the harmony of the universe through puja and homa, okay? So the sacrifice that you're doing to the devas. Then you have the Brahma Yagna, which is the greatest of all the sacrifices. It's through the study of the teachings of the sages and empowering them into our life, into our, imparting them into our lives, and also teaching others, whatever you have learned through your experiences. The Manushya Yagna. The Manushya Yagna is the sacrifice to the fellow human beings and the societal responsibilities towards your parents, towards your family members, towards the society. All that comes into the Manushya Yagna. And the last is the Bhuta Yagna, which is the sacrifice for the animals and the elements and the environmental responsibilities, right? So and the memes, basically the memes of beheading is also found associated with Vishnu, okay, by the way, in the Shatapatha Brahmana, if you are aware. And so you might be aware that ants, especially ants, they chew through a bowstring, which causes the bow to spring open, and Vishnu's head is cut off, right? It ascends into the sky to become the sun. The solar radiation, or the prayagya, is also a constant offering of life to earth, right? I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to explain here. So the very life essence of the sun, it pours down into the earth. It beheads it. It kind of, if you've seen the sun, like the sun rays coming on the earth, it beheads everything on its way, right? When it comes to earth, does it stop its duty? No, it does not stop its duty. So it's like a constant offering of life on earth. That's what sun is doing. So the very life essence of the sun pours down into the earth to invigorate it, so that all beings upon it may live, right? So that everybody can live a normal life. The solar energy, the photosynthesis is the essence of the food for plants, as we know, right? And not only that, but then The sun also becomes a factor of your vitality and your energy. So this outpouring of solar radiation is compared to the perpetual beheading of the sun. The sun, if it becomes egoistic, would it be able to give life on earth? Right? It would not be. So in especially in Tantric Buddhism, also Chinnamasta is also worshipped, and she's known as the power of the thunderbolt, or the Vajra, or the thunderbolt of wisdom, right? The Vajra Yogini, and her philosophy is the Prajna Paramita. It is Prajna Paramita, right? And as a form of the internal night, Chinnamasta is the night of courage. Okay, it is called as Veera Ratri, when the victim is brought to the altar of sacrifice, when you're ready that, from here your life is going to change, from here you're ready for all sacrifices, you're ready to give up all your desires, you're ready to give away your animal instinct, you're ready to give away everything that you're very fond of, slowly and gradually. That's the power of Chinnamasta. Some people also say that she also is the predecessor of the Rajas, Tamas, and the Sattvic Guna, is when is the reason why it is divided into three, right? It's basically how we depict Chinnamasta, right? So all these three gunas are present in a human, and she's the one who divides these three gunas evenly, okay, to balance your life, right? So Rahu also does the same thing. So Rahu is basically, it makes you sacrifice your desire. It gives you so much of pain. It gives you the visibility of the truth, the idea of people. It shows you the real side of humanity, right? It shows you the reality of people. It shows the reality of this world. So much so that, at the end, you decide to let go. You decide to cut the cords. You decide to cut these bondages. You want to just let go of these toxic relationships, right? So it's like a kind of a sacrifice that is being created in your mind, so hence Chinnamasta. So I hope you've liked this video, and if you have any questions around Chinnamasta, please feel free to reach out to me. You can message me here, or if you're already following me on Twitter, you can just send me a DM also. Please do share it with your friends, with your family members, and if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, please feel free, okay? And I would be more than happy to help you with it. That's very much about it. I will continue with my videos on Tantrism and the Divine Wisdom. Stay tuned.